Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to show you how to manage applications or application updates via Patch My PC. Because by default, Microsoft Intune doesn't have any built-in application update mechanism available. Obviously, you can deploy applications via Microsoft Intune. That's no problem at all. But the problem is how to keep your applications updated. Because new versions of applications may bring new functionalities, which is desired, I guess. But new versions of applications also typically patch some vulnerabilities. And it's important to keep your applications updated on your corporate devices because definitely you don't want to have vulnerable applications installed on your corporate devices. Which is the reason why you need some system or mechanism how to keep your applications updated on your corporate devices. And like I said, Microsoft Intune by default doesn't have any application update mechanism available. So you typically either need to install updates manually or you need to have a third-party software or service that would manage application updates for you. Doing it manually is an overhead for your administrators because you first need to check all installed applications whether or not there is a new version available, and that's really time consuming. If there is a new version available, you need to deploy the new version manually via Microsoft Intune to your corporate devices. It's a huge management overhead. Honestly, to me, it sounds like a waste of time of your Intune administrators. So having some tool that would manage it automatically for you is a huge benefit. And in my opinion, it's a must. And Patch My PC can do that. There are two versions of Patch My PC available. One is the original on-premises version, because Patch My PC has been with us for quite some time already. But originally only the on-premises version was available. The on-premises version was simply an application with a service that was running on a computer, so it could be a server, it could be some desktop, but there is a service and a user interface that was used to manage the applications, the configurations, the updates, and so on. It was fully automated, it was fully integrated with Microsoft Intune. There was no limitation there, but it was an on-premises service that must be installed on some device in your environment. But now there is a new version of Patch My PC Cloud, which has pretty much the same functionality, but it's a cloud version of the management tool. So you don't need any server or any device locally for the application update management any longer, because you can use Patch My PC Cloud. Both versions exist, so if you still prefer the on-premises version, it is available for you. But there is this new cloud version that doesn't require any on-premises connection, any on-premises infrastructure at all. And that's the version that I'm going to talk about today in this video. Because in my opinion, the cloud version is much better. It's nicer, it looks modern, it's available from the web browser, it's running in the cloud, so you don't need any device to manage this service or to provide this service for your organization. So to me, this is the choice number one. Patch My PC, both the on-prem version and also the cloud version, can be connected to Microsoft Intune, obviously, because that's what I've been talking about. But it can be also connected with WSUS or System Center Configuration Manager. So Intune is not the only management tool that you can use. Even though Intune typically is probably the primary tool that you would connect it with, because if you have SCCM, you probably have some application management already built in, because you are probably a large organization and you have it strictly controlled. And WSUS honestly is a thing that's going away slowly. So Microsoft Intune would be probably the primary connection that you would use or that organization uses in general. But the other options are available here as well. So when you open Patch My PC portal in the cloud, you first obviously need to connect Patch My PC with your tenant. When you connect it with your tenant, it connects on the background to Microsoft Intune and gets information about installed applications on your Intune enrolled devices. The way how you can connect it with Microsoft Intune is via simple enterprise application in Microsoft Entra ID that you can consent to if you are a global administrator directly from the Patch My PC cloud portal, or you can obviously create it manually beforehand. How to connect it? So if you go to the Patch My PC cloud portal and expand settings and go to environments, here you will see all environments that you have connected. I have one Intune connection already created here. If you are new to Patch My PC, you obviously wouldn't see anything here, but you would see two tiles here that would allow you to create the required connection or connections. So I have Microsoft Intune connected and configured. The wizard for the connection is super simple. You just sign in with your global admin account, you consent to the enterprise application, which creates the connection on the background automatically for you, and that's all you need to do. So super simple, no manual steps needed if you are a global admin. As soon as you connect it, on the background there is a connection between Patch My PC cloud and your tenant. Like I said, on the background it connects to Microsoft Intune and it gathers or collects the information about installed applications on your Intune enrolled devices. You can see the applications that have been discovered here in the discovery part of Patch My PC cloud. But before we go to the discovery part, let's talk about app catalog first for a moment. Because for Patch My PC to be able to automatically manage application updates, it needs to recognize the applications. And whether or not application will be recognized is based on this app catalog. This app catalog is a catalog of all applications that Patch My PC can recognize by default and hence can manage updates for. So app catalog is the built-in catalog that you can use to deploy new applications to your devices or manage updates of existing applications on your devices. The great thing about the app catalog is that all applications that are in the catalog are first of all automatically updated. So Patch My PC is responsible for managing the updates, for keeping the applications on the latest version. And second of all, it also has all the necessary configurations available there automatically. So if you decide to deploy some of these app catalog applications, you don't have to configure anything manually. You don't have to get the installation file, you don't have to configure the installation, the return codes, and so on. It's all pre-configured there. So you can simply go here, click on the application, click deploy, and it will be deployed. No manual activity required. But the app catalog is a limited set of applications. Limited is like in big quotes because there is currently around 2,000 applications in the catalog. So there is almost 2,000 of unique applications, and overall there is almost 2,700 of applications currently available in the catalog, and new applications are being added. So the catalog is constantly growing, but obviously there will never be all applications. There will never be your own custom applications, obviously, that you develop in-house. But via this Add App button, you can add your own custom applications to the catalog, or in general, you can add any application to the catalog manually. So if the application is not in the catalog for whatever reason, first of all, you can suggest a new app, and if Patch My PC team decides to add the app to the catalog. It will sooner or later appear in the catalog and will be managed by the Patch My PC team. But if it's your own custom application that you develop in-house, adding it to the public catalog wouldn't be possible, obviously. But you can add the application to this catalog manually, and you can then update the application or manage updates, manage deployments directly from Patch My PC, even for your own custom applications. On the Deployments tab, you see all applications that you have deployed through Patch My PC to your Intune enrolled devices. So as soon as you take one application from the application catalog and deploy it to your devices, it will appear here with some additional information and potentially a custom configuration that you configured for the application. I will talk about it in a moment. On the Events tab, you see events in the Patch My PC cloud tenant. So it's pretty much like an audit log for your environment. You see events generated by the service itself because there were some deployments, synchronizations, and so on. You see also events that you did. For example, I edited some applications here. So it's all in the events table. Discovery is the most important tab for you if you are a new Patch My PC user or administrator actually. There are two tabs available here in the discovery part. First is unmanaged. This is the list of all applications that have been detected on your Intune enrolled devices but are not yet managed. So you haven't created any deployment yet for these applications that are on the unmanaged tab. So this will be by default all applications. You see that there are currently 12 applications that were detected on my Intune enrolled devices that I do not manage yet. If you switch to the managed applications, this is the list of all applications that are already managed on your devices. So this is the applications that you have deployed to your devices, and you have some configurations for these applications already available. But this list by default will be empty, obviously. If you are new to Patch My PC, there will be nothing here. You will see only unmanaged applications. And the way how you can start managing applications, how you can start deploying updates of your installed applications is from this discovery and list of unmanaged applications. So let's take this example of Microsoft Edge, for example. I see that Microsoft Edge was detected on some Windows PCs, but also some Mac OS computers. Because Patch My PC can be used not only to manage applications for Windows computers, but currently in public preview, you can also manage applications for Mac OS devices, which is pretty cool. The number of applications that are available for Mac OS devices is limited currently. There is definitely not as many applications available as for Windows computers, and you can see it actually from the app catalog here. So for example, 1Password is available for Windows and also in the same version for Mac OS. But as you can see, most of the applications are available only for Windows. But Mac OS support is in public preview. It's not yet finalized, so there will be definitely many more applications available for macOS as well as soon as it hits global availability. But back to discovery. So let's say that I want to manage Microsoft Edge for Windows. How to do that? Well, it's pretty easy. You just go to this discovery, unmanaged applications, and for the applications that you want to start managing, you click this deploy button. On the general information page, you see general information about the application. This is the information that is coming from the application catalog. So you don't have to change anything here. You see the display name, language, architecture of the application, install context, installer type. You will see different options available for different devices or different applications. So maybe some applications will have also the exe installer available. Some applications may be installed in the user context, but for this application specifically, these options are available. But like I said, you don't have to change anything here. You can keep it all default. If we move to the next page, on the configuration page, that's where the most important settings are available. On the left hand side, you see there is a lot of different configurations that you can optionally provide. So you can configure scripts, you can configure install parameters, dependencies, and so on and so on. But again, for the applications that are available from the app catalog, you don't have to change anything here at all. It's all pre-configured. The applications are always prepared so that you can install it, you can update it, you can also uninstall it, and you don't have to change anything. You can optionally change things if you want to, or you will need to configure these settings if you are deploying your own custom application, but you don't have to change anything at all for the app catalog applications. What's interesting for you and what you should review always is these 4 settings that are available in the main part of this page. So desktop shortcut. By default, many applications, maybe most applications actually, automatically create a desktop shortcut upon installation. Many applications also create a desktop shortcut during application update. Maybe you want the desktop shortcut available, maybe you don't, but you can configure it here. So you can check this checkbox that would remove desktop shortcut if the application creates the shortcut. Built-in auto updates. It's also an important configuration because many applications nowadays have built-in update mechanism available, which is also the case for Microsoft Edge, for example. There is a built-in update mechanism that keeps Microsoft Edge updated. For unmanaged deployments of Microsoft Edge, the update mechanism is pretty much random. So the engine on the background checks for updates, and when there is an update available, it will install the update. You can manage updates for Microsoft Edge by group policy objects, also by Intune. But you can, and you should, disable built-in auto updates for Patch My PC managed applications. And the reason why I recommend to disable built-in updates is because, Patch My PC is the source of authority for your application management. Or if you decide to use Patch My PC for this specific application, then you probably want Patch My PC to actually manage the updates of the application, right? Because that's the primary reason why we are even here, why you are deploying this application to your devices. So I would recommend disabling the built-in auto update mechanism for all applications that you want to manage via Patch My PC. Available uninstall is an option that, so if the application was deployed via a company portal on the devices, if you check this checkbox, it will allow uninstallation of the application via Microsoft Intune. By default, it's not enabled. I would keep it disabled, honestly. I don't see a reason why you should enable it. But on the other hand, if you want to enable it, you are free to enable it. And the last part, conflicting process, that's the very important configuration that you should think about and configure according to your expectations. Because many applications, if not all of them, require to be closed before updates can be installed. Because simply the application process itself needs to be updated, because that's the application that's potentially running, right? So you need to decide how to handle conflicting processes, because conflicting process can be the application itself that's running. So for example, in this case, if I have my Microsoft Edge browser open, it's a conflicting process because the process of Microsoft Edge is running and I cannot technically finish the update until the application is closed. And Here we have 4 options available for conflicting processes. First option is perform the installation. That's pretty much don't care about the running process and install the application regardless. So you don't even configure what processes are conflicting for this application when you choose this option, because it doesn't matter. It will perform the installation regardless. The second option is to auto-close conflicting application process before installation. So it will, if the conflicting process is running, it will first close the conflicting process and then start the update process. You can choose what processes are conflicting processes. So if you click on this button, you will see for all, again, app catalog applications, there will be conflicting processes pre-configured. So for example, for Microsoft Edge, it's this msedge.exe process that's conflicting. It's the Edge itself. For your own custom applications, you will have to add the list of processes. Obviously, even for these app catalog applications, you can remove the pre-configured processes or add your own custom processes if needed, but you don't have to. Then we see this option of skip installation when conflicting processes are in use. It means that the application update will be skipped if the conflicting processes is running. What it means that if you have, for example, Edge open, the Edge application will not be updated. In Microsoft Intune, you will see installation failure in this case for these devices that have Edge running, because technically it was a failure. The deployment was not successful, and the reason for that was that there is a conflicting process that's running. After 24 hours, it will retry the update again. So there is a mechanism that tries update every 24 hours. The last option that you see here is to notify the user to close the application. So there will be a window in the bottom right corner of the screen telling the user that there is an application update available, but there is a conflicting process that's running, and telling the user that they need to close the application before the application update can be installed. For this option, additional settings are available. First setting that's available is notify timeout configuration. By default, it's 5 minutes. What it means that when the pop-up is open, users will have 5 minutes to respond. So the pop-up will be open for 5 minutes. Then it will automatically close. Then we have notification policy. So what happens if Focus Assist is enabled? Focus Assist, for example, is that you have an application open in full screen mode. So you are, for example, sharing something via Teams, or you have some other application open in full screen. That's the focus mode. So what happens in this case? By default, it's discard the notification. So it's the same as, for example, when user clicks to skip the update. Then you can configure if we want to allow users to defer the update. So you can completely disable it. Users will have to update it within this timeout period. Or by default, you can allow users to defer the installation. When you allow users to defer the installation, you can choose the deferral options. So you can allow them to defer it indefinitely, or you can allow them to defer it up to some number of times, which is the default option, and by default it's 5 times. So they can defer it up to 5 times. Or you can allow them to defer it for some number of days. So for example, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, you choose. And then the last option is related to the timeout configuration. So what happens if the user doesn't respond to the notification? Because the user is, for example, not by his computer, or simply he's ignoring the notification. By default, it will defer the installation on behalf of the user, but you can change it to close the application and perform the update. So that's the settings that are available here for conflicting processes. On the next page, you choose the assignment options. So how you want to deploy this application, or where you want to deploy this application. If you click this add assignment, you see that there are two categories of assignments. One is assignment types, the other is app without assignment. Assignment types means that the assignment is managed from PatchMyPC directly. What it means is that whatever you configure here will be also configured in Microsoft Intune. So if you, for example, choose this add required, the same option or the same configuration will be also in Microsoft Intune. And that's the same thing that we also know from Intune already. So add required means that the application will be deployed to all devices in scope of this deployment as a mandatory application. So it will be installed automatically. So for this assignment type, the same setting will be also configured in Microsoft Intune. For app without assignment, it means that the application will be published to Intune, but the assignment will be managed in Intune directly. It will not be managed from here. So you can prepare the application here, but you can prepare the configuration, you can publish it, or you will publish it to Microsoft Intune as an application in Microsoft Intune, but it will not be deployed to any devices. Your Intune administrators will then have the option to choose to what devices they want to deploy this specific application. So the deployment itself will be managed from Microsoft Intune. So this is the difference between these two options that we see here. For the options that are available in this assignment types category, so add required is obvious, add available is the same thing as we know from Microsoft Intune as well. So it makes the application available in the company portal. Users can install the application from company portal, but it will not be installed automatically on any device. Add update only means that we want to only update the application. In other words, we will not deploy the application to any device. We will just manage updates of this application. So if the application is already installed on a device, the application will be updated automatically on this device. But if the application is not deployed on some device, the application will not be installed on that device. So it doesn't install the application, it only updates the application on devices where the application has been already deployed in the past. And add uninstall is the option that we also know from Microsoft Intune, so it will simply uninstall the application from devices. You can combine add available and add update only. And I would actually recommend to combine it, because add required installs the application on all devices and also keep the application updated. But if you choose only add available, it publishes the application to company portal. Users can install the application, but PatchMyPC doesn't maintain updates of the application automatically, because it only publishes it to the company portal. And that's the reason why I recommend combining it with add update only, because add update only ensures that the application will be updated automatically. Obviously, if you want to only update applications and you don't want to make them available in company portal, you can use update only as the only assignment. That's totally fine by me. But if you choose add available, I would always suggest also adding add update only. That's all for the assignments. So I will just choose one, for example, this, apply to all devices, and go to the next page. The last page is just a summary of what has been configured for this application. And you see the green deploy button, which would deploy this application to Microsoft, Intune, and hence your devices. So when you click deploy, within a few seconds, the application automatically appears also in Microsoft Intune, and the deployment to your devices automatically starts as usual. That's all from my side for today. If you have any questions about Patch My PC or application deployment or application management, let me know. I've had Patch My PC connected to my tenant for already a couple of years actually. So I believe I have some experience with it. So if you have any questions, if you need help with anything, let me know. We can talk about it. Don't forget to follow my social media accounts on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Mastodon, or on Threads. Don't forget also to follow my blog. I hope you liked this video, and that's really all from my side for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.